So I'm here with Steph, the Glasgow cabbie, who's become very well known online and in the real world because Steph's organised this event today. Fantastic turnout against the Hate and Crime Act. Tell us a little bit about what's inspired you to do this and where you see things going from now.
Well, the SNP Green Scottish Government have turned this country into an absolutely shambolic mess, and their policies are becoming more and more radical until today, where we reached the hate crime laws in Scotland. They're unacceptable and we're not having it.
Fantastic. Well, it's been a great turnout, and from now on moving forwards, I mean, I know you've been very vocal about all the kind of punitive measures in terms of what zones go on, where people can drive, how much they get charged, all undemocratically done. But really, this is so terrifying.
Yes.
Right? This is such a kind of attack on the founding principles of free speech. So I was really encouraged to be here today. Just in terms of the future, we together definitely want to support you and be involved and do this. But how do you see this moving forward now and what everyone can do in Scotland?
Well, today people have seen a very good turnout and a rather miserable day. With a lot of smart people here today, some great speakers, and a good bit of organising took place. As for the hate crime laws, they're based on perception, and we can't perceive what one person perceives as hate crime, another person doesn't. And we're going to be letting small crimes or minor crimes go and investigate. Police Scotland will go and investigate perceived hatred, which is an absolute nonsense. And as I say, the police have let us know how they feel about it. It's disgraceful. They don't have the resources to do that.
Absolutely. Well, it's on the front page news that senior police officers are saying this is just impossible to actually do practically. But, you know, when you've got issues where burglaries are not being dealt with and a whole range of other issues, and now they want to criminalise young people, all of us, and who decides what stirring up hate means, right?
Yes.
I mean, who is the decider of that? Well, listen, well done for the first step for this. It's been very important.
Thanks a lot.
We look forward to fighting back, winning against this lot and seeing true freedom come back to Scotland.
Let's get the SNP out.
So I'm here with Menno, who's very well known online for all of the commentary you've been doing and talking about things, and which could come under the scrutiny of Police Scotland now with this new Hate and Crime Act. Tell us why you're here today, first of all, please.
Well, I'm here. Whoa!
Loads of flags here.
I'm a gay man, and one thing that really concerns me is that gay men and lesbians won't even be able to talk about themselves in very plain, neutral, objective language without possibly committing a hate crime. So if I say a gay man is a male homosexual and lesbians can't have penises and gay men don't have vaginas, that could be construed as a hate crime.
And so this whole idea of stirring up hate, right? I mean, anyone could decide it's anything. You could just come and ask questions or say things and get penalised. What do you think? Are you encouraged by today and what you've seen with people here together?
Well, especially when they're up here, you know, because it's Scottish and it's all like, you know, they're bringing all that. And it's been really good to see different groups coming together and groups that might on other subjects completely disagree with each other.
Yeah.
But when it comes to this, it's about, you know, if we can show that when it comes to certain subjects, yes, we do stand together. And the way this legislation has been written is ridiculous. Like, I can be reported for the content that I've created, or that I am creating, if somebody sees it in Scotland. I don't have to be in Scotland to create it, right? And I'm staying somewhere in like a bed and breakfast, and the person I'm staying with, I think, might have some slightly different views on the whole sex and gender thing from me. So even if I said to her, lesbians don't have penises, she could go, oh, hello, Police Scotland, anonymous, yeah, all right, I'd like to report this dude for simply speaking about what a homosexual is and isn't. So
it's exactly what George Orwell talked about, and earlier Stuart Wayton.
If he was around today, George Orwell, he'd be like, even he could not have imagined this.
And you know, the whole idea that children are going to be persecuted, that there are reports on everyone, it's like a Stasi situation.
12-year-olds, right?
But I'm encouraged like you about, you know, being on a panel with people, being on the platform where people were pastors, people that were religious, secular, unionists and Republicans, like together, people with all different views on a range of things. But the fundamental principle that if we don't have free speech and freedom of expression, we don't have any of the other freedoms. So thank you for your work, Menno. We'll support you in that, right? Like with Voltaire, we believe in the right and we'll die for the right for someone to say something that's offensive to us.
Yeah.
We don't agree with, because that's the only way that we can convince anyone of anything and have true freedom.
The rest is just an authoritarian dystopian nightmare. No.
Well, thank you, and good to speak to you. And here, let's do some more stuff together. Well
Yeah,
done.
sure.
So we're here just at the end of the Hate and Crime Act protest. There's a funeral box here, coffin. And John Watt, who many of you will know, who confronted Rishi Sunak on GB News and has been very vocal, also spoke inspiringly. John, why are you here today?
Well, for me, like, this is just, it's madness. It's pure madness. I can't make heads or tails of this bill. Someone said it earlier on to me today. This could essentially affect me for anything I do now. You know, if I want to confront, Hamza Yusuf, or I want to speak to someone about, it's just madness. I can't make heads or tails of this bill. I say I done a podcast, Bring the Noise podcast with Niall, and we went over it, and it just seems to be on people's feelings. So for me, what am I do? Just sit about and not do anything? I know the bill's been passed. It's been passed already, but it needs to. I don't know where.
Well, the thing about that is, I think the thing is we've got a very good opportunity now to kick it into touch. We've got the police here, but Police Scotland really know, they acknowledge they can't really implement this. It's an outrage, and the chilling effect in education, in all of our communities is outrageous. And whether people disagree or agree, and even in the freedom movement, there are things that we disagree about, but we've got to be able to argue them out, thrash them out. And the principle of freedom of speech is the key one, because without that, we don't have any freedom, do we?
No, 100%. Like you said, I said it in my speech, Police Scotland are failing us at this point. And like you said, regarding the movements and all that, we'll go to, like, all this in-house fighting and all that, it's ridiculous. We all know the end goal, we all know what we want, we all pretty much want the same thing. So all this in-house fighting and nonsense that people are talking, look, we can band together in Scotland around the UK at this point, because this is a testing ground for me. In my opinion, this is a testing ground. And if it's been passed here, they're going to move it down to you guys, down in England and London and Wales, Ireland. So
in Ireland, they've had something similar, and then we've got the Online Safety Act now in England and Wales. But we're going to stand together. Listen, well done, John. We're going to stand together in solidarity, and we're going to keep fighting and challenging and make sure we stand tall and strong together.
Are you going to get Rishi Sunak to answer and have that meeting?
It's
That's a
like,
promise.
We should put a call into him and see what he's doing. Come on, Rishi, are you going to do that, sitting with him, with John? Are you going to address these issues?
still waiting on him, like I say, still waiting on Rishi Sunak. And like I said, the vaccine injuries, there's more people out there, I know there is, and the reason I speak out is because I know there's so many people out there that have been affected, but the doctors are not putting pen to paper, the doctors aren't telling them, and there's just so many out there that they just don't even realise they're actually injured. So we've got to just come together regarding all this, and like I say, I'll never stop talking regarding my vaccine injury. So that's why I say bring the noise.
Censor him,
That's why I say bring the
So
noise.
everyone stand together, make sure we have our voices heard, we have a common purpose and a common interest. We're better and stronger together.